All right, here we are. We're inside of the Birdseye building, and I'm going to show you right now. This is a cafeteria, a break room, I guess you could call it, or a lunch room. Pretty old school right here, but very old and industrial. Right there. These old benches, the linoleum tops. You can only imagine how many workers' butts have been planted down there. Everything bolted to the ground. Go over here. We're going to exit there. And there's a kind of a corridor here. See, there's all kinds of industrial equipment, a hallway, and there's various entrances. That entrance right there will take you to Allied Cold Storage, where they have, I think, 300,000 square feet of freezer space currently in use. I'll take you over through here. That's up inside there. There's a fork truck and there's a landing. See if I can get you closer. Very industrial. And you walk this way. And here's some kind of for a Good Harbor fillet, this is some pre-treatment room. Here's some big old vats right there. This is some old school industrial right here. Very cool. And we walk down. And Mac, what year was this building built?
1915.
1915, huh?
It was originally built as a light bulb factory.
Oh yeah?
And C&T, something like Carlson and Thompson,
Yeah.
and when it failed in the light bulb business, that was when it's my understanding General Foods bought it, and they operated the fish plant here, and General Foods was formed around acquiring from Clarence Birdseye his patent for quick freezing fish. So this is the place where Clarence Birdseye's invention was first developed. We need to check with Maggie Rosa. She's the Clarence Birdseye
historian
chief, and resident historian David Rhinelander are both working hard, but they both have, I think, a far better handle on the details than I ever will.
What's interesting and what's got really exciting is you see just this old space that you could tell not much is really happening here right now.
Yeah.
And the opportunity.
Well, the opportunity, the potential is huge, but it's an amazing piece of property that produces $20,000 a year in taxes for the city of Gloucester. And there's no reason in the world why this property couldn't be producing, I would say 10 to 20 times that.
10 to 20 times that.
10 to 20 times that in an annual tax bill that can get paid if we put our heads together and make it work. But, you know, it can also continue just like this. You know, there's a stagnant industrial process here that if people can't see the concept, if the vision isn't appreciated, we can only swim against the tide so long.
Yeah, well, you know, like you said, we could sit here and have it space for sitting old snow plows.
Yeah.
And old vats that you know have been sitting for 15, 20 years.
Joe, this is a good picture here, man.
Right?
I mean, you're talking about some ugly vats.
Yeah. So we could have this right here of just old stuff that's not producing anything, $20,000 a year, or we could go ahead and have a little bit of vision, create space that the public can access and use, or we could be stuck and say, no, we want to keep this, just like this for the next 30 years, not help out, you know, so people would never even get to come in here or use this space. And talk about some of the things you were just talking about. What you would love to see in this space instead of these vats that have been here for 100 years. Well, what are some of the things that could happen?
Jim Schul and the Project Adventure Museum School operation. We can have a Mikado, the North Shore Food Project, the KPN Sailing Club, the thing that wild woman,
Patty Page.
We'd love to be able to provide them with a home base so that they can just go right off here on the harbor. You know, this is,
and you know something, that's the outer harbor, so they wouldn't be interfering with the fishing boats on the inner harbor.
Exactly, yeah, and they should be right here on Pavilion Beach enjoying what the fort has to offer, you know, and you know, to be able to have a swim club so that you could go out of here and go swimming as part of your daily exercise. Gary and Karen. Gary is the captain of the tuna hunter. His beautiful wife Karen, she swims actively in the ocean 150 to 200 days a year. There are people like the Polar Bear Club, you know, they put on a wetsuit and they can swim right here and then come into the hot tub, come into the sauna and enjoy the health club. You know, that sort of thing, all of that can be part of the kind of operation. I'd love to see Chava, the art people who created the thing under the paint factory years ago, something interactive that the kids can come to the Birdseye project and grab hold of a creative process.
So we're at a crossroads. We could continue down this path of you know,
industrial
wasteland, which is producing very little in the way of tax revenue for the city, or employment, or we could say we could make this a community center where people from Gloucester get to use it, and we increase the tax base, which pays for bills for Gloucester 10 to 20 times what's being produced right now.
Absolutely. You know, and the challenge is the economic engine. What do we have that's going to float the boat, that's going to make it all happen? And unless we get a miracle, such as maybe Microsoft deciding that they want to create their Northeast office here, one of the only other options is the concept of residential, which we believe can take place on the upper stories. It's kind of a delicate balance, and it's kind of an obvious common sense approach of integration, and God knows this location is such that it really warrants some combination of many people's good ideas. It's not just one person's idea or another person's idea. It's about how do we work together.
All right, Mac, thanks so much.